It was not. It was not.
Air cooled it off a little bit.
It's no longer stuffy.
It's blowing. Sit right here.
Just
Get you
straight to
during
you.
the day. Yeah. It don't invite. Not black? No. Well,
People are excited about the AC update.
hey, this is it. It's done.
Right.
Have you been on, you haven't been fishing or anything, have you? Still?
Deer hunted the other evening, had a little one-horn buck walk out, and I was like,
I wonder if this screwed it up. Stone said the crappie was probably fixing to get bright again, but I wonder if all this rain.
I don't know, I heard a bunch of people catching them on bull.
He didn't. He was talking about Norfolk, but he was going to go Friday, but he didn't go Friday.
That'd be pretty good. Dad caught 3 yesterday.
Yeah. I had 11 gobblers.
Off of one top.
That's what everybody's been saying.
I got over 50 birds.
Can't see a deer, but all gobblers.
I about had a turkey hit me in Branson over the weekend.
Hey, they'll do more than you. Ashley hit one on the way to Oklahoma
Oh, my
one time, and I
goodness,
thought,
do
I
some
said, "There's
damage.
no way." I wasn't with her. There's no way you hit. I had to be a dog, a big dog. She said, "No, it was a turkey."
Wow.
It flew over my car. I'm glad it made it.
Radio.
That's what it screwed up. Got way back in there.
All right, I've got 5 o'clock. Welcome to the Norfolk School Board meeting. Please stop all side conversations as we start this meeting. And Mr. Williams, will you open us up in prayer?
Father, we thank you for all your many blessings that you bestowed upon us. We just pray that you grace us tonight with wisdom and guidance, even revelations on what we need to do and how we can become. Father, we just pray that as we make decisions for the school, as we move forward, that your hands in it, that you lead us and guide us. In Christ's name.
Amen.
All right, consider previous month's regular meeting minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion to accept the previous and a second for the previous month's regular meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consider financial reports and bills.
I noticed the depreciation values in here. Is that part of the financial report or?
You talking about on the very last sheets?
Uh-huh.
I put those in there. That is, I'm proud you asked about that because I was going to mention them when y'all got done. That is your master plan for this year that we have to submit. That Joe, I don't know if you've seen or been a part of hiring. You know how we roll over Joanne Woolridge every year, and I put that in there. It just shows you a lot of snapshots on the buildings, and then if you ever want to build anything else, I mean, like we had to put the roofs in there. You had anything you do over a certain amount of money. And I just got that this month, but the main thing on the back of it there was I put this in there was for the enrollment projections. These are about, I mean, obviously those can differ, but it breaks it down into 5 and 10 year cycles, and they're usually pretty close or somewhere in that neighborhood, and it just jumped out at me, and I wanted to be sure to point that out tonight. The trend there over 5 years, I think prediction is up 60, and over tells you on the last page, I think, where that bar graph is. 66 over the next 5 and 103 over the next 10. So, but yeah, that. And if you have any more questions about that moving forward or anything, holler at me or whatever on that, those buildings and stuff. But that's pretty much every building on campus, whether it's academic, athletic, administrative, and all that. But our master plan, now that we're finished with these projects, is pretty much just updates every year, and because there's nothing else out there that we're wanting to partner on or anything right now.
So based on this enrollment, where do you hit the class 2 or 2A?
Good.
Where's that next?
Well, I think, now don't quote me on this, but, I mean, this year, I think we were like 6 kids, maybe 10, maybe 6 to 10, and somehow third from the top in A. So, a lot of has to do with football sometimes. A lot of it has, of course, they have split up football, and if you play football, you can play Class AA football and play Class A basketball, like Mark Tree and Earl, and do that. But we are, if that continues, it's going to be AA, if that holds. This is the first year of a new cycle, so it wouldn't come into play for us until after next year if that happens. It runs in 2-year cycles, and then they determine that based on your 9th through 12th grade enrollment the year before the next cycle. So this time next year, or probably, it's usually March, I think, or April before they put that out and realign everything to change conference. That way you know what conference you're in and all that. So
I just knew we were getting close.
yeah, I mean, somebody in here brought it up back this summer, I think, because this was a new cycle, and when it comes out from the largest to the smallest, and it has it divided up into 7A, 6A, and then the cutoff, and we were closer to the top of that A list than we've been.
This projection, is fairly accurate. Not the immediate years right here, but on down the line. I mean, if we saw those types of numbers, we'd have to have a conversation about adding on some facilities.
Well,
turning some offices back into classrooms.
That's the main thing I put that in there was, and that's part of the master plan. That's why they include an enrollment projection, is so you can be planning for, yes, if you grow 100 kids, then you'll have to do some things. If you grew 50 and 5, you'd have to probably, I mean, it wouldn't be major, but 100 over 10, that's a pretty substantial.
Well, that's good.
It's just something to be looking at.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, but that's a big consideration.
Yeah, you'd have to do it. I mean, it wouldn't require anything probably new or immediately, but yeah, you'd have to shuffle some things around, maybe do a portable, or, you just have to see how that goes.
We'll have to stick on our building plan numbers then too.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing out, when Stephanie asked, there's nothing out there right now, but I mean, now it would be more in line for room if that holds. And that's why that's a part of this report.
I'll make a motion to accept the financial reports.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept the financial reports and bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Communication to the board, the gym AC project update.
Much to Ms. Ferretti's dismay, this is probably the last time this will be on the agenda. It is finished. It is working. They haven't checked off on it as complete, but obviously I don't think I'll have to give any more updates unless there's a problem. We're waiting on, talked to Providence today, and they were hoping to do a punch this week with Andrew Hicks, our architect, but really, as far as being stamped as complete, that has to happen. The work we did, insurance-wise, in the weight room, the new unit in there, the motherboard was bad, and they're waiting on to replace that. But as far as the main gym project, it's finished, and I hope I don't have to put that on there anymore.
So what about the insurance payback?
I'm going to break that all down for you when we're done.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll all be done in January. But should see, what was it, 35,000, I think. I'll point that out, highlight it, have it all broken down. The cost of the air, though, stayed right on the contracted price. There were no change orders. We never had to act on any of those or anything. So, but I'll have all that
What kind
broken.
of warranty did we get with it?
I think it was 15 years.
That's what I know it was quite a substantial
Yeah,
amount.
15, I think. But I'll have all that, because I'll get closing final documents and everything, and I'll have those whenever. But He said he'd been trying to get in touch with Andrew this week, and I hadn't been able to get in touch with him last week, so he must be busy. And he could be out of town too around the holidays, but whenever that punch is done, I'll bring that back, and I'll change the wording on the update of it. I'll just go over punch list or something instead of AC project for you.
Just to not say it.
Right, to change it up. So
So we're gonna have an air-conditioned graduation.
yeah, it's running now. It's running now. Jason, Mr. Witt, Tony, the coaches have been trained how to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's, you know how there's a little difference in everything, but,
It works, the heat works.
yeah, they hadn't turned on the air yet. I don't know if they've turned on the air yet or not, but,
They installed, the heat running out of the
We've never had a problem with the heat.
if I'm over there, I got the air on.
Yeah, I have it on right now.
Well, still don't have a problem with it.
But yes, unless it's broke down, Lord forbid, that will be air conditioned, yes.
Great.
Calendar revision.
I'm gonna,
Mrs.
sure.
Sorry, did I interrupt?
No, you was
Okay.
calling her too. I was just gonna tell her, I wasn't gonna say anything. I'll let her take it over. Thank you.
Yeah, we can.
So I'm addressing the board as the district test coordinator, and I'm respectfully requesting that we make a revision to our calendar. What I've handed out is the justification, and I'm gonna read it just because I don't wanna forget an important point. The current version of our school calendar was created prior to the release of the state testing calendar. The summative Atlas testing window that was established by the state opens Monday, April 14th, and closes Friday, May 16th. With the current calendar of our district, the last day of school is set for May 7th, barring any snow days, which gives us only 3.5 weeks, 15 days to administer summative assessments to our students in grades K through 10. For summative testing, a district is required to test at least 95% of their student population. In the past few years, we have tested 100% of our students, but it has taken every day in the testing window to achieve this. We also have 2 AP exams scheduled for May 7th and May 8th. These are national test dates and we cannot change them. With the current schedule, we would have students returning to campus after school has ended for the year in order to take their test. And I actually have 2 graduates that will have to come back to take that test too.
Lord, I hope that's not right.
I am requesting that we eliminate the
98%.
Fridays that are scheduled for us in January, February, and March, and add those 3 days to the end of the current calendar. This would mean we would be in school on May 8th, May 12th, and May 13th. By doing this, it would help maximize the amount of time that we have to administer the Atlas summative assessments to our students. I think one piece of information, I included information about past testing, but one piece of information that's important to consider is the state gives strong guidance about when we can start testing for these Atlas tests because they are not a timed test. They highly recommend not starting a test after noon. So after 12 o'clock, I couldn't go start a test at 1 o'clock. I could, I don't want to get in trouble, but I mean, they strongly suggest not to because they have to finish it one day. And so I think us adding the Fridays that we were going in January, February, and March would make better use of our time so that we can get all our students tested. Are there any questions that anybody has about? I've attached an updated calendar. If this is approved, I have the updated calendar attached to the justification, just to see if we tacked those 3 days onto the end of the calendar, and then we would have those, I think it's 5 more days for snow if we need them.
I don't see any other way you're gonna be able to do it without
No,
doing it this
I
way.
don't either.
Yeah.
Will these testing dates be pretty consistent in the future, so we can kind of plan that accordingly?
I looked back, and last year, this was approximately the same window. They have decreased the testing window. Back when we were ACT Aspire, we had 6 weeks, and now they've got it to a 4.5 week window. And now, last year, we did our writing test before spring break, which eliminated one of the tests we had to take during the actual window, but they've now thrown the writing into the main window. And so I think it would be safe to say that this window will stay around the same time. They just changed their mind a lot.
Yeah. And it's the first year, right, that they're doing all this?
Second year of it, but yeah, they make adjustments all the time.
And it's probably frustrating when they change their mind a lot, and I'm in favor of this calendar of not, going those Fridays and having those dates available for the testing. But I have one request to make, and it's that when we make a calendar and accept a calendar, we try not to change our minds so much, because we've told our people, we're gonna be in school these days, your kids won't be home that day, we're going to school that day, they will be home this day, and it's hard on some folks, especially I say it's grade school level, these parents, your grandparents, these guardians. We're in school these days, we're not in school these days, and it can be hard on them for that, try to schedule for that. And when they're changing their mind, and it's frustrating to us, we're changing our calendar and our mind, it'll be frustrating to them, so. I'm totally in favor of this, and I'll make a motion to accept, but, I think we need to look at the calendar, get it right the first time as best we can. We changed the calendar before I look back and I remember changing some dates on some parent-teacher conference for some scheduling conflicts and stuff, but it wasn't trying to determine what days we're going to school and what days we're not. And that's hard to keep up with. I can only imagine. I'm glad that y'all have to do that instead of me. But we tell these folks, the kids are expected to be at school this day, and then they're not expected to be at school that day, and then they are. I don't think that's a good look for us.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second to accept the calendar revision. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consider tractor bids.
Thank you, Ms. Bryant. I want to table this because we only got one bid, and this, to just update you in case you forgot, we had the situation where we had the theft of the tires and parts and all that. We did file an insurance claim, we got that money back, and I told those guys to bring us some new bids and used tractor bids to replace that. But we've only got one back, and I might have rushed it into tonight, but I'd just like to put it on next month's agenda.
To table it.
Yeah, to table it, because I don't think we're going to be able to talk much about it and do what's best for us with the options that we've got right now, and I think it was just one new bid too, and that's, I don't have to tell y'all, that can get pretty expensive, so let's just wait on that. We're not hurting for we don't use that much until the spring anyway, when baseball, different things start mowing again, so I'll come back to you with that.
We don't have to use it for like snow plowing or anything like that usually?
If it gets really bad, we might, but we've borrowed before, if, our people have come and helped us,
Okay.
we'll deal with that. And we hopefully, it could happen before January, the third Monday in January, but we'll make that work until we get one, because when y'all accept it, whatever we decide on, we can get it pretty quick. It's all gonna be pretty local, so.
Where'd you get the bid from?
I don't remember where he said, Shannon, we only got one. He's asked 3 or 4 different places.
Make sure it gets Robert's tractor now. I'll put in good work.
I don't know that he didn't, but I'll make sure.
All right, personnel, consider high school janitor applicant.
Yeah, I want to recommend to the board that we hire Miss Tammy Cope as a new high school janitor.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept Tammy Cook from the high school janitor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Consider 1599 approvals.
Yeah, I think y'all all got the email too. This is different. Everybody, whether you have families that own businesses or whatever, we were all
Subject to it.
subject to, by our auditor, she wanted a form from everybody. We have 3 that I'd like for the board to approve, to send, to do business with if need be. The only one on here that's been on here before, of course, is Miss Bradbury, but, and y'all can do these all 3 at one time. It's Laura Treat, for spray foam, Miss Bradbury for Bradbury Station, and Stacy Ferretti for, if we need Adams Plumbing. And y'all have to approve this, and it has to be approved. It's not a big deal, but it has to go this route to actually, so we don't get dinged on it in the future. And there's those names again if you want.
Oh, Lord.
Do you need this?
Make a motion to accept.
I think I got it.
And y'all gotta sign your life away.
I'll second.
So we have a motion to accept and a second to accept the 1599 approvals listed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I don't have anything else.
I don't
That was
have.
Chad and Darren.
Did you say Robert Tractors? Okay,
Mountain View.
Mountain View, that makes a difference. It's not Mountain
Does anybody else have any other business? I just need a motion to adjourn.
I meant to ask at the last meeting and completely forgot about the flooding that we had at the high school. Is there a permanent solution for that or anything that we can do to?
Good question, I should have brought that up. We did, yes, well, I mean, we hope it is, y'all know how that goes. But we have a plan when they're completely, and they are finished now, but they moved some dirt around for us, but I'm gonna have Jason draw up, got some culverts involved, some concrete, but we wanna do that in the spring, before the spring stuff hits. But yes, we need to work on that. Everything that we had to do during that time, insurance actually called today about paying, we called ServPro out there because we had, it's happened, this has happened for several times, but it was worse this time. And it was because of some of the work we were doing back there. And our folks just need, of course, it happened right at school time too, so, but,
Today probably wasn't bad test, any
I didn't,
thing today after the rain?
no, but we did get a big rain, but,
Not in comparison.
so some of that's helped some, but I don't know if it was as much as, that was
No,
a
that
big
was
time that
amazing.
day. But yes, Jason and them have, and they talked to those guys out here that were working too, and they, when they were moving some dirt around, and they come up with a plan that I'm gonna bring to y'all to see if y'all wanna go ahead and do that while we're out there.
Good.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank y'all.
If y'all didn't sign in,
Yeah.
please sign in the